Hi everyone, I'm Nastya, I'm a psychologist, and today I want to talk to you about shame because this is one of the most common topics people bring to me, even if they call it something else. That feeling that we don't deserve happiness, love, success, or anything good really often has two main sources: shame or guilt. And while this video is mostly about shame, it's important to understand the difference between the two. They often show up together, they can blend into each other, but they are not the same. Shame is the feeling that something is wrong with me as a person, while guilt is the feeling that I did something wrong, I hurt someone or acted against my own values. And this difference really matters because it shapes how we react. If I did something wrong, maybe I can fix it, I can learn from it. But if I believe that I, as a person, am wrong, then my only option seems to be hide myself or to stop being me. And because of that, our brain responds to shame the same way it would respond to danger. Humans are social beings. It's not just predators we fear, it's also the fear of being pushed out of the important group. So shame becomes a signal, there is a threat to not being accepted here. And the brain reacts with the classic survival responses: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. So when we feel shame, our brain might tell us to run away, isolate ourselves and avoid the situation. Fight, get defensive or aggressive so no one comes close enough to see what's wrong with us. Freeze, do nothing, say nothing, stay invisible. Or fawn, adapt to others, try to please them, hide who we are just to stay safe. And also it sounds like a complete negative, but shame, like fear, anger or any other emotions, has its own useful function: to signal that something is probably at risk to our acceptance in an important group. So our brain just says, hey, this might be shameful, and then we decide based on our values and the culture we live in whether the signal is helpful or not. So in a perfect world that would be easy, but we live in the real one and there are a few problems. First, some of us were raised in environments where shame was used to control us. We were trained over and over that there is something really wrong with us. We absorbed this so deeply that it started to feel like part of our identity. This makes it hard to own our accomplishments, to allow ourselves to be happy and loved, to be open and vulnerable in relationships. And it also makes it difficult to set healthy boundaries. When we trust our shame blindly, we stop noticing when other people are actually treating us badly. We are too busy blaming ourselves. But the truth is, shaming someone is often a tool of control. It's used to hide the shamer's own vulnerability and feel more powerful. Second, many of us have never been educated to recognize shame or to respond to it with kindness and compassion. So we end up reacting with fight, flight, freeze or fawn without even realizing that shame is behind it. One clear example: procrastination on something we deeply want. Sometimes we protect ourselves from the risk of failure or from unwanted attention by doing nothing at all. Because if we do nothing, we won't feel new shame. We'll just sit with the familiar kind we already know how to survive. Like, I don't write the book I really want to write because I'm scared it might not be good. If I try and fail, I will feel disappointed and ashamed. So instead, I live with the quiet discomfort of not using my potential. It's familiar. I know this feeling. I know how to live with it. But I'm not sure that it's the best way how to live. So, if it sounds like you too, you might be wondering, what can I do about it? And the main strategy for working with toxic shame is this: stop isolating yourself. Shame cuts us off from others, from our emotions, from our own inner wisdom. And our task is to reconnect. Reconnect with people, reconnect with our emotions, reconnect with healthier thoughts and beliefs. To reconnect with people, we need courage. We need to allow ourselves to feel a little shame in the presence of safe people. Research shows this is the most healing thing we can do. Share our shame with someone who can listen and support us. And safety matters. Don't start with people who have mocked you or treated you poorly. Start with someone kind, with a good friend or with a therapist. And even in the moment when you realize you're feeling shame, just telling someone, I think I'm feeling ashamed right now, can help. If they're compassionate, they'll support you. And over time, your brain will learn, maybe I'm actually okay. Maybe shame is not so bad, and maybe people around me are not so bad. Next, to reconnect with emotions, start naming them. Practice emotional awareness. Shame often comes with a mix of other feelings: fear, sadness, even a bit of joy or surprise. They all matter. They all want to be heard. So don't only listen to the shame. Let the other emotions speak too, and make your decisions based on the whole picture. And finally, to reconnect with your own thinking, start noticing what you say to yourself when you feel shame. Write it down and look at those thoughts like a curious judge. What do I tell myself about who I am? What do I believe about other people, about the world? Where did those feelings come from? Are they really true? Are they really useful? What evidence do I have for and against? Even if some of it is true, is it the whole truth? What would change in my life if I believed the facts instead of the shame? For example, I always tell myself I have to stay quiet. Why? Because my grandma told me that when I was a kid. It made life easier for her. But now I still carry that fear that if someone feels uncomfortable, it must mean I'm doing something wrong and something is wrong with me at all. But is there any real evidence for that? Not really. Just my fantasies that I know what other people are thinking and how much my manifestation affects their well-being. And what about the facts? In fact, I do not do many things because of potential feeling of shame. In fact, no one reads the thoughts of others, and in fact, people are not made of glass. They do not break from our every movement. If I believed that, maybe I'd allow myself to show more of who I am, and maybe others could really get to know me. That's how closeness is built. So, go through every belief you have when you feel shame. What do you want to let go of? What do you want to keep? And what do you want to rewrite? And then, write down your new understanding of yourself and the world. Those are the seeds. You'll need to water them again and again, be patient, but eventually they will grow. And the last important thing is the shame takes a lot of energy to carry. So we need to take care of ourselves. everything that nourishes you, that makes you stronger, that you ally in this process. And remember, every little step counts. If today you have the energy to process just one thought or share just one small story, that's enough. That's a good beginning. That's a good step. Don't expect yourself to erase shame forever. You don't need to. Just take it slow, step by step, and you will get there. Thank you for your attention. Let's be kind to people around us and ourselves that really can change the world. Bye.